So last night, for those of you that missed it, this era was one shot away from ending. My Chicago Bulls made it all the way to Game 7 of the NBA Final and lost by 2 points. Michael Jordan and the Houston Rockets defeated Hakeem Olajuwon and the Chicago Bulls. 42 points from Jordan in that Game 7. It was Michael Jordan, man. What else can you say? Olajuwon missed the game-tying shot as time expired. We did have a 7-point lead with 5 minutes left. That's true. So, yeah. This series continues into what will be a very interesting offseason, I am sure. They typically are. In terms of player retirements, neither of our sides lose anybody, which is kind of shocking given that I had Bill Walton on my team and he's in his mid-30s. Mitch Kupchak's gone, though. Good to know. And staff retirements, I really do need to automate that. Historical changes. Well, here we go. The league is about to get a lot more interesting. Some people, of course, knew this was coming. There are 2 expansion teams for the upcoming season. The Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets are about to join the league. There's also now 3 officials. The Golden State Warriors have changed their logo, really their entire look. But yes, the Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets are here, which means there's an expansion draft, which means I could be in a little bit of trouble. A little bit. But yeah, the expansion draft occurs. And that draft will be in between the lottery and the actual draft. In terms of the league alignment, Chat's Clippers find themselves in the Pacific with the Kings, Lakers, Suns, Sonics, and Blazers. Golden State as well, while I'll be in the Central with Milwaukee, Cleveland, Atlanta, Indy, and Detroit. So, there you go. The divisions have realigned. We get to the draft lottery, in which, oh my god, it still hasn't changed. The Chicago Bulls, thanks to Golden State, have a 14.3% chance, just like everybody else, to get the top pick in the draft. I could certainly use the pick-me-up. I certainly could. Will the Bulls move up? Having a top 7 pick regardless is pretty nice, given that I'm going to lose people in the expansion. Are the Bulls moving up? No, they are not. And that'll actually be the 9th overall pick because of the expansion teams. So we will skip through the lottery. The New York Knicks have the 1st overall pick, with the Bulls having picks number 9, 18, and 24. Chat's Clippers, 1st and only pick in the 1st round at 14. So 3 first-round picks for the Bulls. It isn't the strongest draft in the world, however, so that is also a factor here for the 1988 lottery. With that, we get to having to protect players for the expansion. I didn't see how many I was able to protect. I probably should have read that. Although, technically, I can protect everybody here that I would want to protect. Interesting. So for me, I can strategically leave certain people unprotected. Gotta be honest, Mark Jackson was very impressive in Game 7. I'm gonna leave Ennis Watley available. You can argue I would have won with him had he not gotten injured. But Mark Jackson has a little bit more of a scoring touch. His defense isn't, and his playmaking isn't necessarily significantly worse. His IQ is not that much worse. I think I'm cool with dropping Watley. Just because I'm worried about salary cap room right now. Joe Dumars is definitely staying. I'd prefer to keep these 3 and have to trade somebody. Horace is staying. I'm also going to leave Bill Walton exposed because he's 35 years old. Yeah, if I leave Watley and Walton open, that's the best way to go, I would say. So, that brings us to the... Oh, hold on. Confirm. Am I sure you want to submit your changes? And then let me go to the Clippers. Okay, there we go. It wasn't letting me do the right stick option. So for you guys, I mean, it probably makes sense to try and drop Bill Cartwright. I mean, if you got to leave somebody exposed, although it looks like you can keep them all too. It does look like you can keep them all. Do we have any rules for free agent signings? Just one signing per. Yeah, honestly, like I want to keep these two because I'm thinking trade value, but I got to let go of somebody. I need to free up some money. I need Ennis Watley to go. So that's the way to do it. But yeah, if you guys have to expose someone, it will be Bill Cartwright. Yeah. So you guys are going to leave Bill Cartwright open. He's the oldest. You certainly don't want to lose anybody else. So there we go. To the expansion drafts. The Hornets get the first pick and take Bill Cartwright. Kenny Smith selected off of the Knicks. That's a huge pick for the Heat. And the Hornets take Watley and his contract off of my roster. Dennis Rodman is heading to Miami. Okay, I got rid of that Watley contract, though. Sam Mitchell also on his way to the Heat. The Heat are building a decent little roster here, man. Not bad. Is anybody going to take Bill Walton? Right now, it looks like they don't want to go with the veterans. Anybody going to take... No, Bill Walton stays. Dennis Rodman, though, on his way to Miami. So that is that for the draft lottery and such. The expansion draft is taking effect. I lose Watley. You guys lose Cartwright. And we go to the 1988 NBA drafts. Where first overall, the New York Knicks select point guard Rod Strickland, who was like a top 3 player out of this draft. So him going first overall is not too bad. The Dallas and they just lost Kenny Smith. The Dallas Mavericks second overall take shooting guard Mitch Richmond, who was also a top 4 player from this draft. You could argue. At 3, the Denver Nuggets take power forward Danny Manning, who was top 8. You could argue. He was solid, but third overall shows you kind of the status of this draft. The Charlotte Hornets, first ever draft pick, they take Hershey Hawkins, who was the best player from this draft, and they get him 4th. Miami at 5. Trade the pick? No, they take power forward Charles Smith, who, again, was okay. Phoenix Suns at 6 take Rick Smits. Big Rick Smits. All 7'4" of them. New Jersey at 7 take forward Willie Anderson. And Atlanta at 8 trade the pick, along with their second, to Dallas for point guard Derek Harper. So Dallas, with their second pick of this draft, take point guard Michael Williams. Please tell me I can trade this pick. I do have some offers, don't I? Hell yeah, I do. Thank God. Norm Nixon as a veteran, former Clipper. Bagel, what's going on? How are you? 92 second rounder. The Bullets' next 2 first round picks, both top 10 protected. I like it, though. Johnny Moore. We just switched over to this Bagel. The Celtics, first in 89 and 91, both unprotected. Jerry Sting, 89, and Tree Rollins, a 90 and a 91 from Sacramento, 89 and a 90 from the Knicks, 90 and a 92 from the Lakers. Take Michael Williams, but I don't need the point guard. Pierce, Darwin Cook, 89 and 90, 2 top 3 protected from the Nuggets. Wayne Cooper, Vinny Askew, 2 first-round picks from the Rockets. 2 firsts from the Blazers. Ooh, Miami. Sam Mitchell and Joe Wolf. That would be some cheap depth for me. But or the Hornets are offering Bill Cartwright. That would be fun, but no thank you. Let's see. The next draft is very similar to this one. There are some good players in 89. 90, it's Gary Payton and his band of merry men. 91 is Mutombo and his band of merry men. The 89 draft, next year's draft, is the best one until we get to 92 when Shaquille O'Neal's available. If I could get top 5 picks in next year's draft, that wouldn't be bad. So the Bullets were offering their 89 first. So were the Celtics. A lot of teams are offering their 89 first. And a 91, which isn't as exciting. 89 and a 90. A lot of offers here. Top 3 protected. It's tough. Especially because of the top 10 protections. The Celtics, I mean, I played them in the conference final. I can't imagine they're going to fall off. Is there a 91 that's lottery protected? Because that could go to 92 and involve Shaq. And the answer is no. Shit. Although, so if that lottery protection kicks in for the 89, I get the 90 and the 91 guaranteed, actually. Never mind. A tough one, man. This is a tough one. I'm going to hit enter negotiations for this. Well, that's not what I meant to do. I thought I could look at the standings. You know what? We'll do it, though. We'll take it. I mean, it's 2 first-round picks from the Bullets. I feel like they haven't been amazing. Because I don't trust that Boston's going to fall off. So I'm willing to take that from the Bullets. That's fine by me. So 2 future first-rounders at some point down the road from Washington. And they took Rex Chapman. The Twitter legend, Rex Chapman. 10th, Cleveland takes guard Chris Morris. The Bullets have another pick at 11. They take Aroni Sakali, perhaps. The Pacers at 14, Pete Stewart. And the Jazz at 13, Tim Perry. That brings the Clippers on the board, on the clock, and you guys have to make the pick. Flat out, the best player left in this draft from an IRL standpoint is Dan Majerle. Easily. Besser with the gifted sub, by the way. Thank you very much for that. In terms of what you guys need, you have the point guard, you have the shooting guard, you got the forward, you got the power forward, you kind of have the big man. You need to go for the best available, just flat out. And since nobody offered you a trade for the pick, I mean, Ozzy, a couple of minutes ago, you haven't missed too much. Just the expansion draft with Miami and Charlotte being added to the league. Flat out, Dan's your guy. He was the only reason I was tempted to not trade the pick. But again, from an IRL perspective in this 88 draft, he was the only top 5 player remaining. And then you got Poole as a power forward, a center, who's generated. And obviously we can look at, what the hell it had. Yeah, I mean, potentials. Yeah, I mean, it's Dan Majerle going to the Clippers. That's not even a decision for you guys. He's the only one left. And it gives you some maneuverability. I need to hope at 18 that I get another trade offer, because otherwise, this was a bad year to end up with these picks. I tried trading them, too. The Sonics trade that pick in a second for former power forward Kenny Carr. And the Warriors take Troy Poole. Come on, trade offer, trade. Yes! Give me those trade offers. Delicious. A 1992 first round pick from the 76ers. Oh, please let me get Shaq with that. Please, please, please. All right, so the Sixers are offering a 92 first. Steve Stepanovich, honestly, wouldn't be too bad. Tree Rollins, it would take a hell of a trade for me to not go after that one now. I know it's down the road. That's future proof, which is fine by me. Did they want mine? They wanted my second in 92, which, who gives a shit? Dirk Goodrich, decent young center, not better than a chance at Shaquille O'Neal. 92. Yeah, no, I'm not swapping the best at the Blazers. You're out of fucking mind. 92 first rounder from Seattle as well. Ooh. Seattle made the playoffs this year. They kind of turned it around. 92 first rounder from the Rockets. You guys got MJ. No thanks. 92 from the Pistons. Obviously, Isaiah Thomas is getting a little bit older. Okay. Philadelphia, who just signed James Worthy, right? Or is that the Knicks? And I can't check. So there's the Philadelphia deal, the Seattle deal. God. So Philadelphia, the 18th pick and a 92 second for a 92 first and a 90 second. Which isn't too bad. That Seattle deal is just straight up the 18th for a 92 first and an 89 second. And then that Pistons deal involved my first rounder in 89. So the Pistons are out. It's Seattle or Philadelphia that I have to bet on not being good in the future. I'm thinking about the strength of the West and how difficult that Western Conference is right now. I'm going to bet on the Sonics. If we get to that 92 draft and it turned out I bet wrong, well then shit, but it's a coin toss right now. I'm going to take that pick. 18th overall for Seattle's 92 first rounder and an 89 second. Frank, you're hilarious. For the record, who does Seattle have right now? They do have a young Chris Mullin, but aside from that, it's a pretty old core. Mark Price. And for the hell of it, oh boy. Both are in kind of similar spots, but again, I'm banking on the strength of the West. We'll trade away both of my first rounders this year. They took a guy named Reed Cowens. I have one more pick in this first round, do I not? 24th overall, this one I have to make. Which is okay, at least I got rid of the first two. Kevin Edwards, Tom Tolbert. I am just solely going to draft for need at this point. Definitely don't need a point guard. Could use a backup shooting guard. Don't need a forward. Don't need a power forward. It's either shooting guard or center for me. Which means it's down to either Jeff Grayer or Jerome Cummings Mustache. Both of these guys aren't projected to be selected this high. That does not surprise me. Grayer is like pure defense, man. I mean, these guys both probably suck. But we'll go for the big man, Jerome Cummings out of North Carolina. And, yeah, I like how they're speculating if Olajuwon's going anywhere, not if I can help it. Clippers on the clock, pick number 39. Well, it's one of three forwards. At this rate, it's one of three forwards. To be honest, the one you can guarantee the most about is this dude, Paul Farmer. He was the highest ranked. Let's not make a big deal out of this. You're ending up with Paul Farmer because what the hell? At least he has a big ass wingspan. And that is the end. of the 1988 draft. So Rod Strickland went first overall. Man, Danny Manning's an 82. The Knicks fucked it up. And Rex Chapman at a 77, the pick that I traded away. Could argue if that first rounder down the road would have been a bit better. Sam Besser. Another gifted sub. Thank you for that, sir. Would I rather have had Rex Chapman as a backup player or picks down the road? Probably picks down the road. Dan Majerle at a 76. Poole was a 77, so pretty interchangeable. Poole's a year older. No crazy steals. And then the second round, the guy that you ended up with was a 73, so honestly not that bad. It's pronounced Marley. I don't care.
For those about to score,
Did you consider that as a possibility? But you are correct. Fine. Dan, Marley, and me. Coco with the gifted sub, by the way. What a man. Coco, thank you for that. All right. Well, you and Marley and me at a 76 overall. He has a C+ potential, so he's a decent little player. Farmer at a 73, C+ potential. They're both worth signing to get you guys a little bit better depth. For myself, Jerome Cummings, 72 overall to 24 years old. He's pretty shit. I'm not going to sign him. So I did waste a first-round pick, but that's fine by me. I'd rather have the money. But yeah, any relation to Bob? I hope so. In terms of team and player options, I got Dumars and Kenny Walker. For you guys, Quincy Randall. He is your second choice guard right now. You brought in old Marley and me. You might just want to save the money and let go of Randall instead of holding him to try and trade him. That said, Byron Scott can play point guard, so you could consider him the backup point guard and still keep Randall and have old Marley around too. So you got the choice there as to whether or not you are keeping Randall. That is the question. Feel free to vote on that. And yeah, obviously I'm going to keep Joe Dumars and Kenny Walker because Joe Dumars is a phenomenal player. So it is a one-year deal, but that's almost 600 grand. Who knows who might be in free agency? You never know. You never know, you never know. Although it is looking rather one-sided towards keep, and we'll call it there. So there we go, quick and easy. Patrick Ewing's staying. Yeah, no one's really opting out right now. Qualifying offers. Oh boy. Let's look at Chat's team here first. Jim Peterson, 70 overall, 26 years old, C+ potential. You can drop him. You can drop Bob Ball. Outlaw, you're going to want to keep. And honestly, pretty much there you go. Like, keep the two half-decent players, drop the rest to have money to work with in free agency. Unless you wanted to risk dropping Outlaw to try and sign somebody better, but we don't yet know who's in free agency. Keeping Olajuwon, and I have a tough choice here. I wouldn't mind keeping John Sally. It does make sense to keep John Sally. Doesn't make too much sense to keep Bobby Valentine. Just with the depth that we have there, I would rather... I tried to trade him this year. It didn't happen. I'm going to extend an offer on Olajuwon and Sally, but Bobby Valentine... He's not a bad player, though. He's not. It's just too much depth in one spot, even though I am trying to trade people. Yeah, Bobby, he's not even dual position. Bobby's got to go. All right, there we go. Yield qualifying offers. That brings us to this situation here where we are both obviously allowed to go after our names that will be out here. And obviously, I'm going to immediately offer Olajuwon a deal. He's an RFA as well, so could you go after him? Yes. Am I going to match the offer? Yes. It's the same reason why I'm not going to go after your guys. But yeah, I will be sending the deal to keep Olajuwon in Chicago for 5 years. Yeah, again, the RFAs aren't necessarily worth it. You could go after Jordan. Shit, I might go after Jordan. Or Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is a UFA. That's amazing. So again, one more look at our current teams, just so you know, hey, what are the needs? And for myself, I don't really need anything. I just need the best player I can get. For you guys, you have Kevin Johnson at point guard, Byron Scott. You got Reggie Williams at forward. And then power forward and center is the position. But a power forward, you have Otis Thorpe. So the big thing that you guys need right now is a big man. You need a center. And look, right now is the time where you decide how you want to approach things. Because, man, if you wanted to, Moses Malone, Ralph Sampson, Jack Sikma, you could get a very, very interesting center for this team. You made the playoffs. You add a fucking multiple-time all-star center. You have the money. I know it says you don't, but it's weird. You do have the money, technically, to offer Moses Malone a contract. And yeah, he's old. But that's okay. So you do technically have the money there. At power forward, obviously you guys are going to be able to send a deal out to Otis Thorpe to try and keep him around. And then it'll be up to you if you actually don't want to keep him. But you are allowed to send that deal out to Otis Thorpe. Other power forwards include Kevin McHale, Kevin Willis. Maybe I should have gone for that Celtics pick. I didn't realize Kevin McHale was going to leave. That is true as well. You guys do have outlaws, the RFA. So you could go to try and keep him around as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be the 5-year deal, by the way. But yeah, power forward, Kevin Willis. You got Kevin McHale. For forwards, Guire is there. Kiki, Bernard King. This is a pretty big free agent class, man. And obviously at guard, Michael frickin' Jordan, who you imagine will be staying. But imagine if he doesn't. And Isaiah Thomas at point guard, John Stockton, Brad Davis. It's a big, big class. So Chad, again, one more look. Again, you got Kevin Johnson at point guard, Byron Scott at shooting guard, Reggie Williams at forward, Otis Thorpe presumably at power forward, and then 77 overall outlaw at center. That center is probably the biggest position of need. So that is the question. I'm seeing a lot of Ralph Sampson, and again, you're only allowed to target one big name. So keep in mind the centers. Again, you could go for Olajuwon if you want. I'm going to match the deal no matter what. That's why I'm not going to touch your RFAs either. But Moses Malone, Sampson, Sikma, power forward. You got the likes of McHale and Willis, but of course you also have Otis Thorpe to hold on to. At forward, Aguirre's there, among others that could help out that team. Shooting guard, of course, Michael Jordan. Sidney Moncrief is there too as a UFA. And then point guard, IT, John Stockton and company. We will set up the poll first to say what player position, and then we'll move it from there. So feel free to refresh the chat if you need to. And yeah, it'll give me a chance to, again, think about my team really quickly as well. Just double checking the RFA list to make sure. Yeah, I was going to say Bobby Valentine. I didn't send the qualifying offer to. I could still go for him. I do want to keep John Sally around as a depth option if I can. So again, sending an offer out for one of my RFAs. Valentine's technically out there too. I might go for Valentine as well, just depending on the on the thing. I mean, Danger, you had a chance to look at it. But yeah, center did win by a landslide, so it will be a center for you guys. So, at center, you have the options of the veteran Moses Malone, investing in Ralph Sampson, or Jack Sikma is there as well. Who's going to be your big free agent target, chat? Who's it going to be? Do you go for the short-term option with Malone? Do you invest long-term in Ralph Sampson, who also doesn't have any offers on him right now? Or Jack Sikma? Chances of getting Jordan are slim anyway. Very, very slim. Very slim indeed. Well, it looks pretty convincing. It's going to be one Ralph Sampson. That ends up being the chat's primary target. You got that max deal in on him, and we'll see what happens there. One last look at the Bulls. Again, Horace Grant, Pippen, Dumars. I need to go after the best player that I can, depending on if I have the money. Not that I need him, but theoretically, 213 is the most I can offer. 213 is the most I can offer. So, I mean, I'd find it hilarious to compete with you guys for Ralph Sampson, but it's not necessarily what I need. Could go... Can I go for Kevin McHale? I can go for Kevin McHale. Shits and giggles, can I afford Ralph Sampson? I could very much afford Ralph Sampson. Interesting. Is Kevin McHale at power forward? I was wanting to see if I could sort by UFA status, but I can't. McHale, man, having McHale and Olajuwon would be insane. Again, the only reason why I don't go for Sampson at this point is I can't guarantee my AI will play him at power forward like I want. Kevin McHale's not a bad option. Aguirre, I mean, he would just stunt the development of Scottie Pippen. Jordan, it's a long shot, and I don't even think I can afford him anyway. Yeah, I can. I'd be fucking over Dumars. I can't even go after Jordan. So for me, it's pretty straightforward. Because I can't go after Isaiah Thomas. Fuck. Not being able to go after Isaiah hurts a lot. Well, for me, it's pretty obvious then, because I don't have too many options if I can't go after Isaiah. Can I go after, and I can go after Kevin McHale. Even like, well, honestly, it might as well be a 4-year deal. I'm going after Kevin McHale as my signing. Trying to pair him with Olajuwon, having Horace Grant off the bench. That's the approach. Let's see what happens. Olajuwon is prepared to accept an offer from the Lakers. I'll be matching the deal. The motherfuckers screwed me out of 2 years of Olajuwon because it's only a 3-year deal. Bastards. Of course, it was the Lakers that went after Olajuwon. We'll drop the rights to Kenny Carr, to Wingate. We won't even keep the cap hold on Valentine. He can go. We'll agree to terms with John Sally. And we'll keep Olajuwon. For the Clippers, no sense to keep the cap hold on George Johnson, given what you're attempting to do. Renouncing the rights to all of the depth. Ralph Sampson has agreed to terms with the Clippers, as Outlaw and Thorpe also appear to be coming back. You guys got Ralph Sampson as a big man. That's a huge, huge improvement. You could also, if you wanted to, now say that we're not going to keep Outlaw and try to send that money elsewhere or try to trade him. Is there anyone who wants to propose not signing Outlaw for the sake of having a bit more cap space? Or, hey, keep him. He's an option. And you could always try to trade him. Just throwing that option out there. You could justify a move of Outlaw. That is up to you. But yeah, I will be matching the deal for Hakeem Olajuwon. So, kind of pissed the Lakers just screwed me out of 2 years worth of his fucking contract. But what are you going to do? Well, no, you wouldn't be able to spend the outlaw money right now. But you never know. Different trades come up. Have more money to play with in free agency next year. You never know. It depends. How are you viewing it? I'm seeing a lot of sign-in trades. All right. Decision made. Kevin McHale goes back to the Boston Celtics. You fuck. All right. Well, I'm not going to get my super team. I still have a damn good team and Horace Grant at power forward, but I'm not getting the super dynamic pairing of Kevin McHale and Hakeem Olajuwon. He went back to the Celtics. What a dick. Well, with that, if I'm not mistaken, we agreed it's one target and one target only, so I do not get a second chance to say go after Jack Sikma or anybody like that. It is what it is. Was the ruling that we had. So Olajuwon and Sally will be staying. I'm going to drop the other guys there. For you guys, Thorpe, Outlaw, Sampson. There we go. That is official for us in free agency. It is showing that you guys do not have the room to sign Sampson. Okay. Well, I will do what I can to make sure that you guys end up with him because I have the force trade option on. We'll send the deal back to Sampson. It is now not showing you with enough money. Although it didn't give us a warning about that before. So, we'll see where Sampson ends up and pull off a trade for Outlaw. Because we do have force trade on. But yeah, the fact it didn't tell you that you guys weren't going to have the money is pretty rough. So, we'll see what we can do. Jordan, by the way, signs 4 years with the Rockets. Fuck me. So, yeah, we'll see where Sampson goes. But it does mean you're not going to be able to dictate the price that he signed for. As he ended up going to the Blazers instead on a 3-year deal. Would keep Outlaw too. You don't have the money to keep Outlaw. That's the problem. I'll see if I can pull it off with you guys keeping Outlaw, but it's probably unlikely. You have to get rid of somebody. It might as well be the guy that competes directly in the position for the player. I mean, maybe Quincy Randle if you wanted, because you technically have other guards. It'll leave you short at point guard, as we talked about. So. Whoops, to the Blazers. Wow, they also signed John Stockton. Or at least already had him. Well, at the moment, I cannot select Ralph Sampson. So we will, we'll do what we can to get you guys Mr. Sampson. For now, there's not much else to do in free agency. Oof. In terms of player progression for you guys, Thorpe, Johnson, and Williams all improve. Olajuwon got a point worse, but Pippen, Grant, Jackson, Webb, Sally all getting better as well. I can turn off the restriction. It's fine. You guys should have them at the start of the year. As we go through the whole summer tournament deal. And that brings us to 1989. 1989. Let's go turn off ye old exception. The recently signed restriction. Turn that off. Bucket, what's going on, man? All right, let's see. Let's try this again for you guys. Get Ralph Sampson on the team like he's supposed to be. I mean, I'll see if you can even give up like this dude to make it happen. Clippers are over the cap by $7 million. Well, for this trade, the Clippers would acquire $1.45 million more than allowed. Yep, you're losing Outlaw. Hate to tell you. Hate to tell you. You're losing Outlaw. You essentially had to choose between the two. How much over? 341K. It is going to hurt your depth a little bit. Makes sense to get rid of Rudy Macklin. And try to get rid of Earl Elliott as well. Fuck's sake. Oh, man. Whew. See if I can pull off this trade for you. It's going to be a bit weird. It's going to be a bit weird money-wise, is what we're learning. Dude making 80K. Well, there you go. You ended up with Ralph Sampson. You are very much pushed right up to the cap. So enjoy that. But you do get the free agent signing that you initially wanted. Ralph Sampson is there. So we are ready. 88, 89. There's a chance we wouldn't even had to have gone here, but we end up here nonetheless.